Oh, of course. Great feeling.
Yeah, see him popping up. You're like, I really hit one out of the park there.
Yeah, we get all question marks. All question marks is crazy.
All thumbs downs.
Just threw a ha-ha at you.
Bro, it's too late.
I get your little pity ha-ha.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast. Today, what is today?
It's the day after St. Patrick's Day.
It's the day after St. Patrick's Day, also known as March 18th. We are here live from HQ. Trace, it's nice and early. What time is it?
11:11.
Rowan, you got a little extra froth on your black coffee.
Nitro cold brew.
Nitro cold brew.
I don't know what.
I don't think I've ever seen anything blacker than that.
That's the Travis Pastrana crossover with Starbucks.
Yeah, I split the S in
The
my
Nitro
Starbucks.
Circus meets Starbucks cold brew.
I split the mermaid's titties. That's what you got to do.
Can I ask, do you guys, I have such a bad thing where...
I know what you're going to say. Do you guys jerk off to the mermaid on the Starbucks cup?
God damn it. How did you know?
No, what is it? Yeah, bad thing or what?
Well, when you say it's March 18th, I know my billing cycle for my credit cards ends on like the 24th for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I want time to elapse as quickly as possible so that I can get to the end of my billing month and have my bills be as low as possible.
I see.
But that just to me means that I'm allowing money to be something that wants me to accelerate time in my life.
That's bad.
That's terrible.
That's really bad.
That's my mentality. I'm like,
Well,
I'm already at this amount. Like,
You got to
I
stop
really
blowing
don't
your
want to
load.
go any higher on that number. The higher it gets, the more fucked I'll be. So let's just, if only I could skip the next week.
You got to stop blowing your
You're
load.
blowing your load too much. You got to start dressing the same way.
What's the day again that it resets?
The 24th.
24th, I think.
So what is the 25th? You go out, you get a little crazy, a little blow.
Yes, I'm buying credit. I'm buying blow with credit cards.
No, I'm saying maybe you
yes,
do a little
my
blow.
drug dealer has a Stripe account. He's very above board. Files his taxes.
Do a little blow.
He's got
hit
children in the back of the car.
That's your. I
You
feel like
want
that's
everybody
your
else to be
ideal.
on drugs because you're a fucking...
Roan, you're literally actively doing drugs right now. As we're speaking.
Yeah,
you're
and you
actively
want
doing
everyone
drugs.
else to be on drugs.
I'm not. I'm never
You
on
want
drugs.
everybody to be like dragged down with you.
There's never been an episode ever where I've ever been on drugs.
And that's fine. I'm happy to be
And
on
there
drugs
never will
with you.
be. No, I'm not on
I'll
drugs.
crawl through the mud with you,
You keep
brother.
on saying,
If
coming
you
up
need
with
a
this
buddy at the
narrative that I'm
bottom,
on
I'll be
drugs.
there,
You're
bro.
actively
Look,
doing drugs.
You don't want to be alone at the bottom. I'll be there.
You don't want to be alone at the
Misery
bottom.
loves.
It is clear. Like I was thinking about it because I was like, Roan's been hitting the pen stiller like way more often recently than usual.
Don't call it pen stiller, bro.
And I think it's because I think he's trying to blow his load before he's got Francis and Harry Jr. running around because he knows he's not going to be able to be hitting the Benjamin.
Bro,
as much.
I'm going to teach them right
Benjamin.
away that it's legal in New York.
Why don't you get him a copy of your book that you're 50 pages into and we'll never get any farther along in?
Whoa, that's so negative.
Hairball, with the way you play video games, if you read a page a night, I'll be shocked.
I actually didn't play video games last night.
Why don't you read that book for video games and not the Jewel?
Because I don't
think
want to quit video games.
They're the only wholesome thing in his life.
what if you applied half the amount of time that you play video games to
Don't say stand-up comedy.
I was gonna say picking up the cello or some pursuit. Anything.
Cello.
You could master it.
Timothy
but I
Chalamet
already
learned to play
have-
the guitar like Bob Dylan in the 5 years or whatever it took to film that movie.
And I'm better at Call of Duty than Timothy Chalamet ever will be.
No, I don't think you are, bro. I think
I
you could. If he took the 5 years and method acted to be you, he'd be like ranked in the single digits.
Bro, you don't even know.
I do know.
You genuinely have no idea how talented I am.
Did you ever see that clip of Timothy Chalamet in the car with Kendrick Lamar where he's like rapping old
Isn't that recent?
deep cut songs? Yes.
I don't think I ever watched the full video, but I know what you're talking about.
Do you think that Timothy Chalamet knew that sort of interview or whatever that video was coming and he just went and memorized a whole bunch of really deep cut Kendrick Lamar songs
Yes, absolutely.
to put that forward, or has he actually been that big of a Kendrick Lamar fan?
I could see him being a big Kendrick Lamar fan just because he's not that much older than me, I guess, and Kendrick Lamar was...
The fuck does that have to do with it?
Because I was a big Kendrick Lamar fan. Like, I know a lot of Kendrick Lamar songs.
I don't think it has anything to do with your age. Kendrick Lamar is like 38.
It doesn't matter how big, how old Kendrick Lamar is. It matters when he was when Mad City came out, Timothée Chalamet was probably in what? High school? College?
Yeah, you high school kids did listen to a lot of music.
Okay, never mind.
Wait,
what would you guys prefer? I just don't reply to the question?
Wait, I'm adding. That was a riff.
A riff?
Yeah.
That was a strike. That was an attack.
Strike back, Counter-Strike then.
I'm not in the mood to argue right now. I'm just in the mood to get along and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go kumbaya. I mean, I took
yeah, you two did come at each other's throats about the drug problems that you share.
I don't have a drug problem. Roan has a...
Yeah, I would say
I'm worried
I
about
have
Roan.
accepted mine.
He didn't pick the pen up back up until he saw that you had fucking become Mr. Cheech and Chong. And if I'm honest with you, I've seen what's happened to you, and I've actually gone the other direction. I've been peeling back.
Oh, interesting. What's
You
happened to
stopped
me?
drinking.
No, I've been drinking plenty. I do
Yeah.
drink a lot. I'm drinking a lot to the degree that my voice is hoarse. I talked about that.
You
already.
talked
Probably.
about it, yeah. You
No.
probably don't even remember, though, because you were fucking hammered when you talked about it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm proud of my drinking.
That's actually fucking rum in that cup.
I'm
He just
leaning
has
in.
a tall cup of iced rum.
Is he just drinking a Long Island iced tea right now?
Yeah.
Just fucking shit face.
Times at 11 a.m.
I'm drunk right now.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
What?
Yeah, you like that, wouldn't you?
I was
Remember
trying
that
to say the
scene?
name of that country singer, Willie Nelson, but I couldn't think of it.
Willie, I was just
He's
listening
the
to
biggest
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. Yeah.
Fucking Cheech over here.
I was just listening to some Willie on the way in.
Yeah. You were always on my mind.
I was listening to a little Lukenbach, Texas. You know that one?
No.
Really?
I'm more of a Glenn Campbell guy.
Lukenbach, Texas is a phenomenal song.
I'm more of a
You
Galveston.
guys got to get on that.
Glenn Campbell.
Out in Lukenbach, Texas, ain't nobody feeling no pain.
I'm more a Galveston, oh Galveston. I'm so afraid of dying. Glenn Campbell gave it to us straight, bro. He was just like, I'm terrified of death. It was fucking a wild lyric. But back to Kendrick Lamar, I haven't been able to listen to him since he came at our comedian brother, Andrew Schultz.
Oh, no, of
The
course.
war on comedy is fucking sickening.
Yeah.
So war on comedy.
That was a little bit of a virtue signaling lyric, I thought.
by Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
You don't come at a fucking comic like that because then it's war with all of the retards choice
you're coming
awards.
at a trained assassin. I mean,
I think that a rapper being like, don't let a white comedian joke about black women,
I agree.
I would say I don't think rappers should be doing that because I'm sure Andrew Schultz could take issue with a lot of Kendrick Lamar's lyrics over the years if we want to go the woke police route.
Yeah. I think we should just get Kendrick on Kill Tony, squash this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just solve it in 1 minute.
Yeah, see his minute.
Just see if he has it. Yeah, can he actually compete?
Yeah.
I'm so hot right now. I'm so fucking hot.
It might be
It
because
was-
you're covered in a fucking alpaca.
It was 34 degrees this morning. It was like the widest berth of temperature. It's 34 going up to 61
60,
today.
yeah.
What are we in the desert?
It doesn't make any fucking sense. So it was 41 when I left. I'm on the temperature.
I'm sure you are.
I'm on the temperature's ass.
Yeah.
Heating up on the temperature.
No, I just look like a dope.
What brand is that undershirt?
The same one I wore. I have like 10 of these.
Are those corduroys Uniqlo by any chance?
No. PCM?
You think he's buying Uniqlo?
I don't know. Good brand.
He's
I
in
can't
credit card debt. He doesn't fucking shop at Uniqlo.
Yeah, if I were shopping at Uniqlo, I'd probably want time to slow down because I'd be enjoying my life.
100%.
You know, one thing that about being suicidal that's actually kind of nice is that when you think about how much you should be putting away for your 401k, you just don't.
Right.
Because you're like, well, I'm never going to get to 59 anyway to access this, so I can just have all my money now.
Yeah.
It's like the fable of Jacob and Esau.
I wish I knew fables because they end up on the New York Times crossword questions quite often.
Yeah, I'm not a big fable guy either.
What is the fable of Jacob and Esau? Esau was Jacob's...
Twins. They were twin brothers. It was a biblical story.
Yeah, like
But
White Lotus.
Sneaky Jacob tricked Esau out of his inheritance.
Is that right?
Oh shit! Like
How did
Dan
he
Cook.
do that?
Like Dane Cook. It was basically
Yeah.
Dane Cook.
He was just a sneaky bastard.
Jacob went on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people don't know that, but
Speaking of brothers, did you guys watch White Lotus?
Yes.
not the newest episode. Please don't. Please
No
don't
spoilers. No spoilers.
spoil it.
Look at you
No
leave for a
spoilers.
second. No, I'm joking.
Francis,
Because-
why don't you pop out?
No,
Wait
it,
in the
it
hall.
If I
was
pop out, I'm not coming back.
Can you wait in the hall for a little bit?
honestly the Patrick Schwarzenegger character should have been you.
I know. That is the clearest role I've seen where I thought I would actually, you know, I'm sure a lot of actors feel this way, but I thought I would have been able to play that role pretty well.
Yeah, I agree.
You would
Yeah.
have dominated that role.
Yeah.
They need to throw you on a lotus because there have been there was a character season 1 that was like I guess a little similar to you, but you would have played the role extremely differently
I
than
know.
the Darios.
I mean, I could see
new
you
husband.
legitimately getting casted in that show. Like, it's not because it's not a show where they really cast A-list celebrities.
Yeah, we say that, and then you're like, oh, who did they have for the role? Oh, Patrick Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Francis De Niro
Didn't
get the role.
Well, why don't you just change your name?
He
for
lost.
like Hollywood. Why don't
Yeah,
you just change your
right.
name to like Kudrow?
Yeah. Kunis.
Kunis.
Frank Pacino.
Francis Kunis.
Francis Kunis.
Oh, I took my mother's name.
Oh man, I saw Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher in Chicago. Couldn't believe it.
You told us that story. Where did you see them at a food place?
Uh,
I
Right?
could
at
see
a
Mila
coffee
being
shop.
on
Oh,
White Lotus.
They had a son that was just your age.
Is that so?
No, they had toddlers.
Mila Kunis and Ashton. How would they have a son that's your age, Francis?
Hairball. I thought we had waved the white flag of truce. I thought you brought that out. You want to turn this into a fucking...
You want to join
man.
Kendrick Lamar's side against his comedians?
Just want to be lobbing drone strikes at each other all day? Fine by me.
Kendrick Lamar's famous, or his favorite battle rapper was a dude, Tech Nine, who he always talked about.
I know Tech Nine.
Yeah, I know.
No, he's a different Tech Nine, a guy from Philly who wound up.
No, I think I know Tech Nine, the battle rapper.
Huh?
I said I think I know Tech Nine, the battle rapper.
What's a line of his?
I don't know his fucking lines.
Okay. Well, he killed himself because he
Oh,
was a pedophile.
Damn.
And that was Kendrick Lamar's favorite.
He didn't
battle
even
rapper.
know that there's a procedure now?
Yeah.
And if you don't get that one, listen to episode, whatever the last episode
Tuesday's
was.
episode.
283.
He didn't even... It must have done it before the medicine had caught up.
So so I've been getting weirdly into the Call of Duty Pro League to the point that
I saw you
like,
tweeting about it. It is weird.
to the point that like I keep almost accidentally bringing it up in conversation like it's football.
Yeah, well, I've been hearing you do this.
Yeah.
You said it yesterday. You talked to Green Wave.
Green Wall.
Yeah.
But like I was like I would be in the green room this weekend in Vancouver and I'd have the urge to be like, what do you guys think Optic's going to do about the Kenny situation?
You're just ahead of your time.
Yeah.
Like this is how we're going to be talking.
it's pretty
It's like
sick.
did you see the Dodgers against the Giants?
Yeah.
It's going to be Optic against FaZe.
Yeah. It's pretty sick.
Um,
Big news. They dropped Kenny days before the ring ceremony.
okay, so is this teams, professional esports teams?
Yes.
That are playing Call of Duty as their... Do those esports teams play multiple games?
No, but like each team has like so Optic has like a professional Halo team too.
I see.
It's funny how it's become cool guys because when esports started,
This isn't cool, guys.
definitely not.
No, this is like what you'd imagine.
Yeah, that's what
Like
I
the
imagined.
cool guys are like the streamers who like are like some of
Optic
them are like
affiliated.
some of them are like retired pros who now like drive like Lamborghinis and shit. The
is
guys that
crazy
are
how
actually
rich they
on the
are.
teams are not cool. They're not the cool guys.
Good, because you can't be you can't have like the broccoli haircut and like
No,
be risen
no.
and Livy Dunn.
Yeah,
if
no,
you're
it's
like
not.
if you're nice at video games,
These
like
guys
you
are
don't
all
have time
like, most of them are like 300
to be on Neon
pounds.
Stream.
Yeah. It is funny. It's like they all like lose a shit ton of weight after they retire. Like they're fucking linebackers.
like Taylor Lewan.
No, like I'm not even kidding. Like the best pros in the world, after they retire, they all get like jacked and lose like 70 pounds.
Because if they have enough time to focus on video games.
Yeah.
Hey, Green Flash, tell us your secret to all your weight loss. I don't know. After all those years, I finally stood up.
Yeah.
Finally got out of the chair.
And the career span is like 7. They go pro when they're like 16, and they retire when they're like 25.
That's got to be low key depressing.
They're like 25, and there'll be videos, and they'll be like, I've just been like I know it's like getting close to that. I'm getting close to that age where like I can't really compete anymore.
Yeah, they're Formula One racers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, NFL, the average NFL career is like 2.6 years or something. So guys come into the league at 21, 22, and most of them have to find something else to do by the time they're 25.
Yeah. What would be your go-to? Like, what would you try to do if you were in the NFL for 2 years and you say you made like?
I'd buy a bus.
Well, like how much money would you make if you were in the NFL for 2 years? Like minimum, like $1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah.
You have $1 million.
So say you made $1 million.
But you don't have $1 million
$1
because you bought a chain, obviously.
Well,
You bought
I
a
wouldn't
chain.
have.
You bought a fucking gaudy chain.
I would have bought
You have
a
to pay off
lot of Brunello
multiple
Cucinelli
domestic violence.
clothing on sample sales.
Yeah.
I probably would have spent more than the guy who bought the chain.
That's got to be kind of gratifying. You know that Kanye lyric where he's like, white people get money, don't spend it.
Yeah.
You're kind of like spitting in the face of that lyric. It's like, no, I'm just spending
Well,
differently at the same rate.
I always spit in the face of Kanye West,
Right.
especially since he started coming after Harry's
Your
people.
agent. Yeah.
The Jews.
Now,
Actually, I don't think our agent is Jewish.
No.
Which explains a lot about your careers. Which indicative of a lot of things.
That's why Harry's going to play Vancouver for very little money.
It's probably why you didn't get with the White Lotus role.
Yeah.
He's not my
If you had a Jew up top.
he's not my TV agent.
A Jew up top.
Hey, I
Oh
like
my
that
goodness.
question though.
What would
and
you
I'm
do?
not just saying this to give the white answer. If I had $1 million, well, let's say 700,000, and I were injury rolled out of the NFL at 24, 25.
25. Let's
First
say.
of all,
25
I think
is lucky.
yeah, I know, but you said whatever 2.5 years, right? So I know that if you get injured and you can't play, they give you an injury settlement.
That makes sense.
And maybe not everyone, but I know a buddy of mine who's actually an incredible lacrosse player. His name's Will Yateman. He played at Maryland for like all 4 years, but he was huge.
Yeah.
And he was a really good athlete. And he ended up going and playing. He played for the Patriots.
Really?
Yeah. And he was on special teams. And he got some runs. I
Yeah.
don't think he was just a practice team player. But he was in the league for a couple years maybe, and then he got injured and he had an injury settlement. I don't know what it was. It might not have been a ton, but they kind
Who
of
pays that, I wonder? Does the team pay it? Does an insurance pay it?
Maybe it's the league even, or like there's some thing in the players union that
Yeah, there
says
must
if you
be.
get injured and you can't do it anymore, we'll like give you a payout or something.
There probably is something like that, if I had
Yeah.
to guess, because it would make sense. I mean, it is kind of a risk.
Violent sport.
Yeah, you're playing a sport where I always think about that. Like in the NFL, like when they're walking out of the tunnel to like go into a game, like odds are one of those players will not play the rest of the season. Like, do you think they think about that when they're running out? Like, this could
Can't,
be
bro.
it. My
You can't
career
think
could
about
end
it.
today.
You can't think about that.
Like,
bro.
I mean, how many season-ending injuries are there per game?
My guess is that
Like, genuinely, it's got to be like one per game.
this is my theory. It's that so many of them are already dealing with like nagging things.
Yeah.
That they're not thinking about the career ender or the season ender.
Yeah.
Right? They're just accustomed to like, I had to splint my finger or tape my hand up, or
Yeah.
I have a mild calf strain, this, that, and like I've taken a bunch of fucking painkillers. I'm ready to run through glass. I can't feel any part of my body.
Yeah.
I've taken a bunch of pre-workout and I'm ready to go rip someone's face off.
Yeah.
And then in that mentality, there's no way you're thinking about.
Yeah. Until 4
I don't
minutes
think-
into the game.
But you can't think about, as a guy who's watched probably 500 Eagles games in my life,
Yeah.
you can't be thinking about getting hurt or any possibility of injury, even if you're recovering, because you just have to be thinking about the play. If you're like
Yeah.
hesitant for a half second, that's like the margin of difference in speeds between like the fastest guys.
Yeah. I guess you got to trust your QB.
You got to trust Jay Hurts.
Trust your QB's not going to be throwing hospital balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Unfortunately for Jalen Hurts, that's his specialty.
You don't even fucking start the slander of Jalen Hurts, because I'll have Philly on your helmet, bro. I'll have Wallow and Gilly through that door in a fucking...
It is crazy that Hurts got one ring and people are trying to add him into like the Burrow, fucking Josh Allen, Mahomes conversation.
Wait, why are you talking about
Lamar.
these guys who have no
People
rings?
are trying to compare him to Lamar.
Lamar has 0 rings.
Lamar is the greatest NFL player of all time.
Your lack of knowledge is
Right next to
astounding.
Drake May, of course.
Your lack of knowledge is a blight on your record as like a pretty intelligent person.
I would go back to
I am pretty
school
intelligent.
is what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as like,
Harvard.
huh?
Harvard.
Wherever.
Suffolk Knights.
I would go if I didn't have my undergrad degree, I would go finish that.
Yeah.
And then I would get a master's
Yeah.
or
In
try
what?
to go to business school. I don't know. Whatever I wanted to do.
You wouldn't try to get into like media or something?
What,
guess the odds of that are even harder than it
fucking
is to get
network
into
is
the-
going to hire you
Yeah.
after a 2.5 year career?
You'd have to be really good at media.
You know, Greg Olson just got unseated, and he
Yeah.
had an illustrious NFL career and was incredibly good.
Yeah.
At the
commentating,
job.
Yeah.
Some
For
hot
years.
quarterback is just going to come along and take your media job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that job is statistically way harder to get than it is to get into the NFL.
Absolutely.
I guess it is harder to do what we do than be in the NFL.
Yeah, true.
Holy shit, I didn't even think of
Shout out
that.
to the
Yeah.
press.
I got what you could do. Maybe Yale drama school.
Ooh. I mean,
That's the best drama school in
I
the
could see you
country.
being like a professor.
I think that if you go into the NFL and you make the NFL and you're like, holy shit, I've made it. I know that I would go in thinking I'm going to have a 10-year career.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
And then at 34, I'll have a pension from the NFL and I'll have saved my, only spend my fucking endorsement money,
Yeah.
save the salary, and, then live off that. And then after 2.5 years, you're out and you realize, okay, well, I need to stop making plans
Yeah.
because... So to that end, I would say like that's why school to me would be something that just gives you more options.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine going to B school though.
Business school would
yeah.
be but one that would give you a lot of options.
It would,
though.
but it'd be so. I mean, it'd be probably pretty hard.
I guess on the bright side, like with the NIL
to
contracts
get in or
now-
to stay in.
To get to stay in as
So-
a guy who's been like an athlete his entire life.
Yeah, I guess I just know Justin Tuck went to Wharton.
So did Brandon Brooks, a former Eagle, went to Wharton.
DeBrickashaw Ferguson went to I think Darden at UVA. And
Yeah, there's
he's
a
now
group
in
of guys.
private wealth management.
I mean, those guys are probably making more money than they made in the NFL. Because if you combine your connections from the NFL and the
Yeah.
fact that you can get through business school, you're probably a fucking beast.
I think that also if you were in the NFL, like a banking job or whatever, or a trading job where you have to entertain clients, being a guy who can go out on a Tuesday and Wednesday night to sauce up some potential clients at
And
a
it's probably
dinner.
fun for a client to be like, "Oh, I'm at the Brickashaw Ferguson's table."
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, in the AFC Championship round, boy, I was lining up across from
Yeah. yeah.
so and so, and anyway,
Look at my hands. Look at my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone passed me the oysters. I can't get my mitts around it. All my fingers are backwards. Anyway, what do you guys think about coming on board for $5 million?
The dude Hunter Renfrow was a receiver. He was on Clemson, won championships there, and then was on the Raiders for a couple years. Had a good season with the Raiders, and I think that he was just like he's like a real estate agent now or something.
There you go.
I think
all those jobs, like car salesman, real estate agent, where you can like somehow parlay the image you built, even if you're not a marquee player, into selling something, I think is a good thing to do.
Yeah. I think I was gonna say I think it's probably good. The NIL contracts probably help people in those situations now, because realistically, if you think about it, most people that are going to the NFL probably have some sort of NIL deal where they're getting some sort of money. So it's like you also can factor in that money.
Yeah.
And you can know how to manage and spend your money earlier on than just as soon as you get to the league, that's the first money you ever got. And you're like, I'm going to buy my mom a house.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great point. I think that now with the NIL money, it almost for a certain caliber of college player incentivizes you to finish your degree.
Yeah, 100%.
Caleb Williams lost money going to the league.
Yeah, a ton of people do that.
And I think that's because you're like, whatever, I'm making, roughly a rookie salary for another year of college. I'll get my degree. I don't know if anyone's thinking that far ahead, but
I'm sure they are. I'm sure if you're not like a top pick, like if you're not like guaranteed to go in like the first like 2 rounds, I'm sure you probably contemplate staying in college and taking the NIL money.
What do you think the streamers do after they graduate or they retire?
Yeah.
Like the CDL guys?
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about that with Mook and Matt the other night. We were wondering that.
Peters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were saying, I wonder how much those guys make, and then I wonder what they do when they, like, I know it's the same as any sport. Like, that's not.
That'd be sick if they went to the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same as like fucking like lacrosse or soccer, where it's like in America, like the people that are okay don't make anything. The people that are the top people make a shit ton of money, and then when they retire, they make even more money from streaming.
Oh, they go into streaming.
Yeah, most of them.
They become they go solo.
Like the Optic guys, like Optic Scump, he's like considered to be one of the best Call of Duty players of all time, and he retired probably 2 years ago, and now he's probably making millions of dollars.
So he retired because he knew he would make more money going alone.
Yeah.
Why did he even stay in it that long? Because it built his profile?
To compete. Why did he compete for that long?
Yeah.
Because I think they're like obsessed with competing. Like,
but can't he compete as a streamer?
Yeah, but you don't he wouldn't have you don't have the time, because the amount that those guys they practice for like 8 hours a day. So then you don't want to really go and stream right after that.
I guess my question would be, don't you practice for 8 hours a day?
No.
How many hours do you be honest?
How many hours do I play video games a day?
A week.
Yeah.
A week.
Oh, a day.
Well, because I don't play every day.
Right.
That's why I want to say a week, so we can average it down to a day.
Okay, fine.
I don't play every day, and like I played this week or like this past week. Let me think. I didn't play at all during the week until I got to Vancouver. I played.
That can't be true.
It is, because we were filming for the out of order stuff.
Yeah, but don't you?
Late at
that's
night.
during the day. You play at night though, right?
But we were filming until 10 p.m.
I know, but don't you get home and say, I want to? You got home from your shows in Vancouver and you wanted to play, even though you had a 8:30
There's
flight.
a lot of factors. Like Mook streams Mondays and Thursdays, so I don't play Mondays and Thursdays because you want to have a full team.
Yeah.
So this week I played Friday for maybe 2 hours tops. Saturday I played for maybe an hour, and then Sunday I played for probably 4 hours.
And that was the total of video games?
Yeah.
No wonder you suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just not, your numbers aren't there.
No, I'm not practicing nearly enough.
Do so like your parents have to like kind of let you just play as much video games as possible from the ages of 12 to 16 if you don't want to make it to, not yours specifically, I'm saying like if you want to make it to be a pro by 16, you have to have put in like at least 4 years of like antisocial video
but I
game
think
play.
it's also like they know.
No, because there's not a moment that it would seem to me that every professional Call of Duty guy on one of those teams just had a moment through the early years of them playing as a kid where their parents were just like, I've given up. I've given up on getting this kid to do their homework.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's a whole thing, but I think it's also like, I think the age that people go pro at, I think it's like I think they have an idea, like the people around them are probably aware, like this guy's
dude,
one of the best
though?
in the world.
And genuinely, like, okay, so I
There's
get
12
that there's an inflection point where all of a sudden your 14-year-old son presents their PayPal account and it has like $45,000 in it from streaming or whatever, where the parents are like, okay, you know what? You knew and we didn't.
Yeah.
Go forth and prosper. But up to that point, it's either parents who just do not give a fuck. I can't imagine that there are a lot of parents who are so keyed in to the realm of video games as to be aware that their son or their daughter is a prodigy and to, basically be like, I'm going to be your agent and I'm taking 10% and we have an incoming call from Red Dead Redemption. Would you consider picking up the sticks for that? Like
competitive Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, this new PlayStation controller. I know it doesn't have the hand cooling fan, but they're coming out of Japan and they're offering us $10,000 for you to just take a picture with it. You don't even have to use it.
Hand cooling is not something you'd want. You want hand heating.
You can do what Andy Roddick did and actually tape the controller and pretend like it's the new Babolat racket, when in fact it's the old one that he's more comfortable with.
Yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know. But I think the gap between professional Call of Duty players and someone like me is so insanely large. And like the thing that's interesting about video games is versus like professional sports is like, if Derrick Henry was like, there's no situation where out of nowhere I would be playing against Derrick Henry in football. You know what I mean?
No, but
there's a situation where like a professional Call of Duty player could get into a lobby with a bunch of people that suck, and like say they don't like, it's a kid, it's a 17-year-old kid, doesn't even know he's pro yet.
So this sounds more like golf. I feel like golf, you could wind up playing against like a pro. There could be some kind of pro-am shit or something.
Yeah, invitationals. Are there scouts? Serious question.
I don't know enough about
scouts
the competitive
for video games.
I'm sure.
Given the size of the esports world, I would assume that a lot of the traditional ways in of true professional sports apply there too. That there's like recruiters and there are guys that work for, what are the major video game companies? Who makes Call of Duty?
It's like Activision, Treyarch.
Yeah, so like Activision probably has some guy or a team of guys.
It wouldn't be Activision directly. It would be like the teams.
Dude, why wouldn't it stand to reason?
That's like saying NFL would have scouts as opposed to the Seattle Seahawks would have scouts.
Yeah, but why wouldn't it stand to reason that Activision would want to know who the upcoming young stars could be?
But don't they rank it all?
It's like, there's ranked play. So it's like, if you're like, you could like, if I played hard enough and I was good enough, I could get into the top 250 of ranked, which is visible for anyone to see. So obviously, like out of nowhere, if there was some dude who was the 5th top ranked player in the world and wasn't cheating, you'd probably like, teams would probably be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Basically, my question is, how do I get the Roan twins by like 12 years old?
You got to get them started early.
That's what I'm saying. Is it a coaching system? Because NFL, that ship has sailed. Look at my legs.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I've thought about it before, and is there any resentment towards my parents? A little bit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. How can I undo the sins of your parents
Yeah.
so my children can become...
Yeah. Because look, like I was probably the best at any Call of Duty I've ever been was probably Modern Warfare 3, and that was when I was probably like 12. And
So now him never doing his homework makes way more sense. You know what I mean?
But it's such a Sophie's choice though, because if you don't do your homework, you're gonna end up in most cases with fewer options.
Let's just say, like, let's put it this way: that there's like how hard it is to be on the NFL. Like, there's 12 teams in the CDL, and they all have 4 players on them. It's nearly impossible to be on one of those.
There's like
teams.
50 guys.
So if you're like, we're not going to make our kid, we're going to be fine with our kid getting D's and going to school 2 days a week.
It's a terrible idea.
It's like being the parent of a skier.
Yeah.
Like we had this ski school in Maine that was called Carabasset Valley Academy, where they just would like ski from 9 a.m. till 3 or 2.
Yeah.
And then they'd go to like
in hopes of what?
Hour of becoming an Olympian. And they had
I grew up with people like that.
And
too.
they had, a racing team, and then they had a freestyle and like a moguls team.
Yeah.
And we had some kids at my school who for the winter would just kind of drop out of school and go up there at Sugarloaf, and they would go to CVA for whatever 4 months and come back and get back into math class, and they've missed, Yeah,
I grew up with people like that too.
Half the year, half the curriculum.
Yeah.
So your odds of actually having that pan out, to me,
I always wondered though if that was more so
gamble.
if that was more so like we're doing this to try to get you into a good college under like a scholarship, or if it was like genuine, like we're hoping you're going to go to the Olympics.
But I think that it's not even that bad of a proposition, because I think a lot of kids just don't get the fucking lessons anyway. Like none of it like hits their brain. Like they zone out in class anyway. So like missing a year of math, like you might wind up just being dumb anyway. Like you might not have that in you when you're sitting in class. At least you got tired out a little bit.
But that's a big chicken egg thing. It's like, are they dumb because you took them out and put them into ski school?
At least they know how to ski and they're dumb. Some people just wind up dumb.
Yeah, right.
Some people is just garden variety stupid.
Because if it's not Olympics, you're a lifty, right? With that pedigree.
Yeah. What's a lifty?
The guy that slows the fucking chairlift down as you sit down.
Yeah, that's like, you're right.
Smokes more weed than Harry.
So we're talking about a legend.
Well, we're talking about a guy that's going to die at 50.
I mean, I don't know.
Right, bro.
I don't know what the... Yeah, I guess the risk is like you probably have to be unbelievably good for anyone to be like, this is something you should pursue.
Let's put it this way. Growing up, and obviously I was before the rise of esports, but if I had grown up now, I know my parents well enough to know that for me to convince them that I had a brighter future in video games than I would had they, from them continuing to push me in school and whatever other stuff, I would have needed to present them with like full-blown checks.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, here's my college tuition.
But I think
Still want me to go?
I think that is what people like. I think that's what it used to be like, is that like you would go compete in like minor tournaments on the weekend or like challengers tournaments. And then like if you won those, like maybe your parents would be like, okay.
The only exception would be if you had a parent who was also obsessed with video games.
Yeah.
Which is now probably like, guys aren't aging out of video games.
No.
Guys are playing video games until they die.
Yeah.
Like we're getting to the first iteration of nursing home video game players.
Yeah.
I swear to God, it's coming. And that's probably a sweet nursing home existence.
Yeah. Like, I mean, my friend, like Bo will always throw out shit like, well, what we're going to be playing Call of Duty when we're in our 40s. And I'm like, yeah, 100%.
Right. I'm figuring that. Yeah, go.
Jesus Christ.
Hello? Guys, if you are unaware of the most unbelievably comfortable and awesome looking clothing to wear for workouts, for golf, for whatever it is that you want this spring, good shorts, good athletic shirts, all that stuff, try Vuori, okay? Vuori is incredibly versatile and comfortable, perfect for whatever your day brings. It's designed to look great beyond the gym, whether you're running errands, heading to the office, or meeting up with friends. Their core short is soft, lightweight, four-way performance stretch that moves with you, and there's no restriction. It's available in 3 inseam options, a perfect fit for every preference. I personally prefer the mid length. It comes right to the right spot above your knee. As I said, have loved Vuori. To me, it is. I'm going to say this. To me, it's like more of a masculine athleisure wear.
Yes.
That I like a lot. Comes in like sort of more muted colors that I like. Some nice greens and some, good black, obviously, all that stuff. And I really love it. It just, in the hot spring, or the summer, I never feel too hot wearing a Vuori shirt.
I thought you meant like a hot spring. Well,
I do wear shirts in hot springs because anytime I'm in the water, I have to wear a shirt.
The minerals too.
Yeah. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. And for our Son of a Boy Dad listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/boydad.
I can't stress how excited we were when they came aboard.
I'm genuinely super stoked about it. That's vuori.com/boydad. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. By the way, not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/boydad and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions.
Alrighty. Go ahead.
You can go ahead. You can take it.
No.
It's all you, brother. Alrighty, let's talk about Experian. Madness in March is good. Madness in credit is bad. To take control of your credit and finances, make sure to pick the Experian app. Roan?
Experian could be your financial Cinderella with tons of free tools at your fingertips to help you take control of your financial life. Sass? Oh, the amount of free tools that you get with Experian could fill a bracket with things like your free FICO score. You could freeze your credit file for free, helping you protect against identity theft. Free access to the marketplace of credit card, loan, and auto insurance options, all matched to you. Also, they're doing the March Madness, our bracket.
Yeah, go Liberty.
That's who you have?
Yeah.
Liberty?
Yeah.
I have Lipscomb. L. That's the only L's we're taking.
We are Liberty.
Lipscomb.
We're Liberty boys.
Yeah. Us and Frank.
Mm-hmm.
The big three.
The classic trios back together.
Well, you just do content with them every week, so I get.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are together.
Who were you with?
Frank. I'm also with Frank. Frank's on about 4 or 5 teams. They really want Frank to get the money. Make sure that you are ready for your one shining moment with Experian. Go to the App Store and download for free the Experian app right now. It's a free app. Wow. Results will vary. See the App Store for details. Go to the App Store and download the free Experian app now.
All right. Well, what do you want to talk about?
Yes.
I don't know. Well, so what I was gonna get at was I clip out my gameplay for Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, you started clipping it out. Yeah,
I clip it out, and I accidentally the settings got fucked up on my PlayStation, and it set it so that it recorded my audio of me speaking as well.
Oh no!
But it didn't record anyone else's audio, so it's just me talking to myself in the game.
I'd like to hear that.
It's pretty brutal. I'll play it.
Well, you don't have to do it now.
It's kind of funny.
Is it funny enough?
It's pretty funny, yeah.
All right, give us a few seconds of it.
I'll give you a few seconds.
Give me a little taste, and then I'll decide if I want to watch the rest of the video. We'll preview.
Let's see.
I have been making some good food.
Yeah?
You can just. I'm letting you cue this up.
Should I go?
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Here. Let's go. Got one down. Weak as fuck. Got him, squad wipe. Let's fucking go!
All right. Yep. Totally worth it. What does squad wipe mean?
We were playing Warzone, and it's like that's like a battle royale, like the Hunger Games. Like it's like it goes down to like one team at the end. It starts out with like 100 people, and then it's like you're pretty much try to kill everyone to win at the end. And like we took out a full squad of people, so they don't come back. They're dead. They're back to the lobby.
So that you won.
We beat those guys. We ended up not winning that game.
Okay. Got it.
But it was I did a little 3-piece, which is pretty impressive in Warzone.
Nice.
It means I took out the whole team by myself.
Nice. And you said weak as fuck.
Yeah.
About them.
That I meant the guy I was shooting was weak as fuck.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And
That's
then I
great.
killed him.
Can I say I would like to come watch you play video games?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like,
Why not?
Like come sit and watch?
I don't know, just for a little. I'd like to come smoke some of your weed. And,
I don't have any weed for you to smoke.
well, now you're just fucking being selfish. You tell me you can't spare one of your 4,000 pre-rolls?
No, I don't have any pre-rolls. But yeah, we could definitely get you. I mean, you should definitely get on. You should get on the games.
No, it's too late for me.
I don't think it is.
It's definitely too late for me.
You said you used to play Halo. Halo hasn't really changed
but come
much.
on, dude. Honestly, like you guys would never want me to play with you because it would take me way too long to get. You guys are going to keep getting better, and I'm starting here. I can't close the gap.
I don't think you'd be that much worse than Mook.
Well, that's insulting to Connor.
It is, but it's true.
I just don't see it. I don't see myself getting good enough. What did you beyond? Well, you watched me play for the first time ever.
Yeah, you were terrible.
But I still got 5 kills.
Yeah, but that's like a whole different.
I can't figure out if you're trying to be complimentary because at first you were like, you should try, you'll be okay.
I think if
and
you
then
gave
I
it
was
like
well, then I did okay that first time. You're like, you're terrible. Don't do it.
Yeah, you are terrible. But I think if you,
I've never played.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I think if you gave it like a week of playing consistently, I think you'd be like fine. Like I think you'd be like you'd understand it more.
Yeah.
And you'd like know what you're doing.
Sometimes I think about video games the way I think about like skateboarding.
Yeah.
Where I watch clips and I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of it. I
Yeah.
like the vision of myself having that as a hobby to myself and looking forward the way that you do as a treat to, okay, I've gotten through my work, I've gotten through my day, and instead of me fucking around to try to find some new sports documentary on Netflix to watch for 3 hours, to wind down, or 2 hours, I'll play video games with my friends, which is collaborative. I do like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
That it's clearly a team thing and something that you bond with your buddies over. To your credit, you correspond with your close friends more than maybe anyone I know.
Oh yeah, we keep in touch.
You say that you FaceTime and talk to Bo and Peters and all them every day.
Yeah, every day.
The fact that we can call Bo in Spain on FaceTime in the middle of the day and he just picks up.
Yeah.
And isn't like, boy, I haven't heard from you in a while. I'm glad you caught me. It's a rare good moment in between, my siesta and my whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
All good?
Yeah, everything's great.
Cool.
What are you boys talking about?
Video games.
Video games still.
I guess the move is just to make your children well-rounded. Like, you can't specialize. You can't over-specialize, or you hope to over-specialize in something because, like, the chances are it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Searching for Bobby Fischer?
No.
You never saw that movie? You would have liked that movie.
No.
Did you ever see that movie, Ryan?
I don't think I did.
Never even heard
I'm
of
familiar with him, though. The chess player who disappears.
Yeah, but that movie's about a dad, an overbearing dad, played by Arquette. David Arquette?
Okay. Wait.
No,
he played
John
in-
Cusack. Excuse me.
Yeah.
John Cusack. And he has a young son who's probably like 7 and is a chess prodigy. And it's about him trying to, cultivate his son's chess ability.
Yeah.
And he becomes totally obsessed and, hires a grandmaster to tutor him and all this stuff. But there's a moment where he has an angry conversation with his son's like kindergarten teacher. And the teacher's like, I feel like there's a lot of this chess thing is taking a lot of time away from his ability to grow. And the dad's like, chess thing? His chess thing? You wouldn't even understand the gift that my son has.
Yeah.
And I think I can see, us having that same conversation if we're trying to push our kids forward in video games with our kindergarten teacher.
I mean, I think, it probably comes down to like, anyone that's that good at like that at Call of Duty
I'm
is
concerned
probably good at other things too.
What you're concerned? What?
I can just see that conversation where the kindergarten teacher's like, yeah, we assigned the kids to do some finger painting and your son drew a leaderboard with blood drops coming down.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be something where, like, how does anyone get into any creative or any sort of field
An
that's
overbearing
not, like,
parent.
Traditional?
Yeah.
It's a parent who just is
Like, I
trying
guess
to
I got
impose their
into.
success.
I convinced my parents to let me drop out of college to do this
Because you were making money.
I wasn't making money. I was offered to make money.
There you go. You had a literal job offer.
Yeah.
With benefits and a salary.
Yeah.
So,
But it was also a contract for 1 year, and it was not a lot of money at all.
Okay, but my point being, that is exactly the comp I would use for video games.
Yeah. Give it a year.
No, that you can present your parents with a money-making opportunity.
Yeah.
And say, I have this. I foresee this. This is how I see this going. I've built this, and like people in my position tend to go this route, and this is the 5-year, 10-year trajectory or whatever. And get off my back. I know what I'm doing. Me staying in school to broaden my horizons or whatever. I'm just going to be partying. I'm just going to be wasting my time, and we'll save money on college tuition, yada yada. Like,
yeah.
I remember when
here you
my like rap battle started going like viral, and it was like the summer of my junior year of college, and I was like pretty convinced that I was going to drop out of college. And my mom was like, "Do not do that. Like, what are you fucking like? What are you thinking? Like, please do not do that." Basically,
Well, going into senior year.
Yeah, she was like, just finish, get your degree or whatever. And it's like, on one hand, I didn't ever use my degree for a single thing in my life.
Yeah.
2 degrees. I haven't used either of them for fucking anything. But on the other hand, I fucking like wandered in the wilderness for fucking like 6 or 7 years before I was like constantly making good money. So it's not like I had a money making option on the other side of it anyway.
Yeah.
Shit
Do you
just takes
think
a while.
that period of wandering was you benefited at all during that period from the fact that you'd finished college?
Not at all.
Really?
Not once. My first job was at like a bar as a roast beef cutter.
And you would have been able
course.
to cut that roast beef without having finished at Penn State.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with it. I was so overqualified for that job, but still somehow bad at it. And then like my next job's like working at Oogie Woogie or whatever fucking odd jobs I did, or fucking battle rap shit, or fucking like selling websites for the Catholic Church. None of that shit it required a fucking degree. All that shit I basically
Scamming.
But
Nigerian print scamming.
but hold on. I don't know
I
that
have a lot of money for you. All you have to do is give me your first dog's name. Your mother's maiden name, please.
I could see you getting into scamming, like post college.
That'd be so sick. I definitely have buddies that scammed. Actually, they were scamming going into college. They went to Penn State's first like opening weekend, and they went around from room to room. 2 friends specifically, and one of them wound up in jail at one point. But they sold. They went like dorm room to dorm room and sold frat passes. something that just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
They're like, you want a frat pass for this year? It's $120 every party. And kids are like, oh shit, every party for the entire year? And they're like, yeah, they might have had bracelets or something like that. It's like, yeah, here's your frat pass.
That's crazy.
We started my senior year. We started trying to go to. There were always these. I think they were called. Was it bracelet parties? I guess maybe, or like ticket parties. Like BC and BU would throw these ticket parties.
Yeah.
Where you had to, like, someone over there would rent out a bar, and you would buy a ticket for whatever $25, and then you'd go, and it was like, I think, all you could drink, or maybe you got a deal on beers, but you had to be invited to be part of their list or whatever. And we would have one connection for like 40 of us or 30 of us would know one person, a girl who would invite one of them, and she was like, I can get you on the list.
Yeah.
And she would send him the ticket, and then we would go to the same like printing and copy center on Mass Ave that we would use to like photocopy textbooks that we had to buy for classes, which were like $150 or something insane. And then we would just get we would all split the textbook and then literally photocopy it for like 20 of us so that we didn't all have to buy the book. I think it was totally illegal. But we would go to that place,
which it shouldn't be at all.
Well, you're doing to a copywritten book what you're doing to like burning and pirating music, probably.
Yeah, but
anyway, the point was we would go there and we would get it was like laminated passes, laminated tickets, and so we would get the exact one done, laminated. And you get like 30 of them, and they wouldn't be that expensive. And we would go to the bars, and we would have to go early because with our added numbers, they would reach fire capacity.
Yeah.
And we would displace
like 40 people,
30 people that were actually legitimately on the list. And this created huge ill will from BC, Northeastern, and BU towards
the Harvard men,
the Harvard pirates.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they'd get in their fights would break out.
I'm sure.
And there was a period my senior year in the winter where like it was almost like every other time we went into Boston, somehow we'd get into a fight.
Yeah.
And I had to tell our team, like, I don't think we should be doing this.
Knock it off.
Because I knew of a college kid from Maine who went to Bates, and he was on the lacrosse team, and he was trying to break up a fight, and he got stabbed and killed.
Yeah.
It was like a big, really sad story. And so I like read them the press release on that and was like, I think it'd be better if we didn't get into fights
every night
with rival schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably slow this down.
So you guys were a bunch of scammers.
Yeah. They didn't like us.
Holy shit. Well, wouldn't
Tease on Tuesday. That was the BU bar we would go to.
Wouldn't they have known that you guys, as you're going in, are like the Harvard guys? Like if it created the ill will, why didn't they nip it in the bud? Is my question.
Well, because it was a bouncer at the door who was reading off a list. Like not even reading off the list, just checking the tickets.
Got it.
And we would go in, we would present them, and they looked totally legit. And we would go in. And then there'd be like later in the night, there'd be some huge hullabaloo.
Yeah.
And then we'd probably get kicked out, at which point we'd run into the throng of guys.
How do you like them apples?
Who were like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Stop coming to our parties that you're not invited to.
You were on the other end of the good. You were the guy. You were the.
We flipped the script.
You're gonna be serving me and my kids fries on our way up to a ski trip
to Sugar Mountain, to Sugarloaf.
Well, I don't know if we didn't say that. You're saying they said that to us?
No, you said that is what he's saying.
Like you guys were on the other end of you guys were the Harvard guys at the bar.
No, we weren't. We were sneaking our way in like a bunch of townies.
Like a bunch of BU guys.
And the the rich BU kids were ruffled.
How are you
Yeah.
trying to
They
convince
couldn't get
people
in.
that you were a BU kid, where you were like fucking up like the addition on the tip or stuff like
No,
that?
I'd be like, do I know you from math class?
Yeah.
Do I
Surveys.
know you from? Yeah, I remember.
Pretending.
We took a
Carry
class.
the decimal.
Yeah,
Could someone help? I don't know.
Calculator?
I'll just
No
give
one
him-
has a calculator.
I'll just
in
give him
here?
$15. I don't know. It's easier.
Uh,
Like it's like that scene in Good Will Hunting where he's
Yeah.
like, "Do you have any idea how fucking easy this is for me?"
You have any idea how hard this is?
Yeah.
10%?
You gotta totally pretend.
but that's what I'm saying. We were the Ben Afflecks. We were
Yeah.
going up to girls and being like, "Don't I know you from
From history.
history?"
Yeah.
And surveys. Yeah, it was surveys. Yeah, surveys. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny about all this is that if you had, it's kind of like how you're saying if Harry had spent the time playing video games, studying, like if you had spent all the time that you spent in Harvard scamming and fucking
Yeah.
getting into fights with BU kids,
Yeah.
you would have been half of a Winklevoss at this point.
You're not wrong. But yeah, I guess I don't know how that doesn't end in jail for me, in prison.
Yeah, you would be like the guy in the White Lotus, no spoilers, who is very concerned. The guy who's based on Thomas Ravenel from Southern Charm.
Interesting.
Oh, is that who that dad is based on?
Yeah.
I love the dad. He's
The dad's
so
the best
funny to me.
character.
No, the
He's
mom is the
fucking-
best
The mom's
character.
the best character.
The mom is incredible.
The
What
mom's
are
pretty
you
good.
talking about?
Yeah.
You're gonna come live over here for a year with a bunch of hippies?
She was amazing in Best in Show.
Wait, that's the last episode, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm halfway through it.
Oh, okay.
I haven't finished
Okay.
it, but I've already seen the meme, so I know there's a big moment.
Do you guys remember her
Yeah.
character in Best in Show?
Yeah,
It's like a completely different type of like waspy rich person.
she's got huge range. She was in You've Got Mail.
Yeah, yeah.
She's an amazing character.
She's
that
in a lot of
actress.
old shit.
How do
Yeah,
you know who You've Got Mail?
Because I looked up her IMDb, bro.
Pause, bro.
How do you know you've got mail?
Because I knew it was that girl movie I didn't watch along with Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh my God! All of those Meg Ryan rom-coms are must-watch.
Must watch.
Meg Ryan did. Actually, I guess she did it for me in that movie IQ, where she was like Albert Einstein's like daughter or some shit like that.
Don't watch those. You got to watch
Tim
Meg Ryan
Robbins.
rom-coms with, like, When Harry Met Sally. All these are infinitely.
I'm not watching Tom Hanks. You can't convince me to watch that fucking.
Oh,
I
he's
I
so
never
C9
saw.
charming.
I never
Resident.
saw When Harry Met Sally.
It's an awesome movie. It's
I'll have to check
truly
it
an
out.
amazing
Is it
movie.
Woody Harrelson? Woody
No, it's
Allen?
Billy Crystal.
Who
It's Billy
directed
Crystal.
it?
Oh, I don't think it's Woody Allen, but it's
It's
the
not
woman
Woody
who
Allen.
died. Who
That's that shit I don't like.
it's the woman who died who wrote all of those rom-coms, and she was amazing.
Molly Ringwald.
Is it like a good? Is it like rom-com?
Dude, it's a good
rom-com?
movie. It's a good movie.
Isn't it more? I think it's heavier on the rom though. Correct me if I'm.
It's pretty
correct
funny.
Me if
Chick
I'm
flick.
wrong.
No, it's funny.
You're talking about a chick flick.
Yeah,
I'm not going to argue with on this.
it's good. It's worth watching.
When Harry Met Sally is a perfect movie.
Perfect. Movie.
I would call it a perfect movie.
And your name's
like I'd call The Departed a perfect movie.
Okay, I don't disagree. I think When Harry Met Sally is a perfect movie. I think Groundhog Day is a perfect movie.
Interesting.
I think Apocalypto is a perfect movie.
interesting.
Apocalypto ruled so
I think-
fucking hard.
I think Back to the Future is a perfect movie.
Good movie. Good movie.
Um,
Kind of weird though when he's like trying to fuck his mom and
I
shit.
know. Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's a little White Lotus.
fucking the mom would kind of take it down from perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, movie was good.
You doing
There's that one weird part.
You doing that John Mulaney, Amy Schumer bit
What's that?
when he tries to fuck his mom?
I'm not familiar.
John Mulaney does a bit about that.
About what?
About in Back
Back
to the Future.
when he's trying to fuck his mom.
Yeah.
What is the bit?
It's literally that.
Oh,
Something about like, it's a little weird when he tries to fuck his mom or when his mom tries to fuck him.
You,
Yeah.
John Mulaney, and Amy Schumer really have a love triangle
Little
of
triangle.
jokes.
It's a triangle
Wow.
of
The walking behind the guy, then Amy
parallel
Schumer takes
thinking.
from you, and you take from. It's just you're on the same wavelength all the time.
Have you
Yeah.
never encountered that bit or
I haven't listened to
said that joke yourself and then had people comment that it was a John Mulaney bit?
The Back to the Future thing?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm the first person to ever think it was weird that in Back to
That's
the Future,
not what I
his
mean.
mom tries to
I
fuck
thought
him.
you had said that before and then had people get on you about John Mulaney.
No,
having
that was
done
So that was
another
a
bit.
different
It was
John
a different
Mulaney
bit.
joke that he stole.
Different John
Oh,
Mulaney
you're
bit.
taking all of John Mulaney's bits?
He's lifting full specials. He's
People got
like,
mad
don't
at
you
me.
think it's funny when you go to church?
People
And
got mad at me
they
because
changed the rules.
I did a joke a
That's pretty
while
good.
ago.
It's pretty good Mulaney.
I did a joke a while ago about walking home behind a girl and being worried that she was thinking that I was following her.
Yeah.
And then I guess he had a bit where he's on the subway and there's a girl. It's from like it's not even from like a special. It's from like an album of his.
Yeah.
And
A
it's-
Grammy-winning album like that nobody saw.
I never listened to a John Mulaney album.
You never listened to the one where he talks about why he quit drinking?
No.
Oh, it's fucking good.
I haven't
He-
listened to. I haven't seen most of John Mulaney's stuff.
He talks about going to like high school parties and how he had this one friend. They would go to high school parties at people's houses where the parents were away, and they would like cause a ruckus.
Yeah.
And he had one friend who was a psychopath who what he would do is he would go upstairs into like the parents' bedrooms and steal family photos.
Oh yeah.
And John was like, "Why would you do that?" And he goes, "Because it's the one thing you can't replace."
So funny.
You know that bit? I fucking love that bit. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
really
I never
good.
no, I never got into John Mulaney. My sister's always been a huge John
He's
Mulaney
amazing.
fan.
Dude, he's so good.
I mean,
a
I know
fucking
like
beast.
I've seen like his biggest jokes, like shit like that.
You never did you watch
Like
the
I've
special?
seen like the Timothy Chalamet bit, The Boy.
Did you you guys
boy.
watch Bill Burr's special?
I
Not yet.
did.
I'm keen to.
You liked it?
I thought it was great.
I liked it. I didn't think I thought it was very, very good.
I
was
thought
like a little bit more, it was just like I'm not like disparaging his jokes or perspective. It was just like more sentimental than like funny at some points.
yeah, I'd agree with that,
I
but
think
I
that's fine,
liked
though.
that.
Yeah. But he had some amazing that guitar center shit was
The
hilarious.
Guitar Center bit was
Oh, I
Like
saw
the
great.
that
shooting
clip of that.
range shit was hilarious.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I mean, look, I thought like
But I also thought Schultz's special was really sentimental. But I like that.
I
as
didn't
well.
watch his.
I thought it was good.
I thought that was really, really good too.
I saw
And
his- I saw
Julio's
the
I
bit.
thought was sentimental too.
I saw the bit about doing the coming into the cup, and he said that they would be. It had like the line that said
Yeah,
like
yeah.
"fill to here,"
Yeah.
and he was like, "Give me a contact lens to fill up." And that was like the trailer that played. That I thought that was very funny, but I never got around to watching. The
I was
full
working
thing.
on a bit for a while there about the process of going to like,
Oh, because I forgot. Yeah, you did that. Yeah,
but I never fleshed it out.
Yeah.
And then I bailed on it.
I thought I had a good punchline.
I had a good. I think I finally got some new material that is going to be good, which I'm very happy about.
The funny part I had in that joke about going to the
Come doctor.
cum doctor was that they have porn DVDs and then over ear headphones
Oh yeah,
that are like still sweaty
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
last guy. And then there's a chair.
Yeah.
There's a chair. A leather chair with no tissue paper
Yeah,
covering.
a leather chair is nasty.
And
Rather it be a beach chair.
yeah. And I said
Plastic like neck
Yeah.
chair.
yeah, and I said something about how I liked the idea you could feel the ghosts of men, and it was interesting to stand in the footsteps of men who would quite literally come before you. That was my punchline,
That's a
and I
good
don't
punchline.
mind half burning it because I'm never gonna tell.
It
It
feels
never
like-
worked out.
It does feel there is like so I went in the same rooms to get my shit looked at, and they
Yeah.
fucking my chair was also leather, and it was split. Like the leather was like split with it like coming out. So, like
Yes.
someone had like sit hard.
Yeah,
And they had the same pee pads I use for my dogs for you to
Oh.
like sit on. It was fucking insane.
It's insane
Yeah.
that's like something that people have to do. Dude, I can't even when I go to the doctor and they make you pee in the cup, I can't. I just don't do it.
That little room it
I
literally
sit-
feels like where they signed the Declaration of Independence. Like it has like this like air of like history in there.
Dude, I go to the doctor and I sit in the room for like 15 minutes and then I come out and I'm like, I can't. There's just no pee in me.
I brought
And they're
some from home.
They're like, do you want to drink some water? And I'm like, it's not gonna do anything. It's just gonna go. I'm
Dude,
not gonna piss.
The waiting room for the fertility clinic for the men. It was like 8 a.m. when I went, and there were like 7 other dudes there.
Yeah.
And there was a very strange air in the room of knowing that every single one of us was minutes away from jerking off.
And that someone is going to have the most.
Yeah. And it's just like when they call, it's like being summoned for the gangbang scene.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Mr. Ellis. And you're like, yep, all right, good luck.
Yeah.
Kind of let it was just, it's a very bizarre.
Does anyone ever go around and like, fist bumps?
Let's go, boys.
Yeah.
Like
There's definitely a dude in there who's done that.
in
like
my
a
room,
total
we played
douche.
Zip Zap Zop.
Yeah.
Like an improv. Shut up.
You're sizing up your competition.
Yeah.
You're like that little
Well,
guy
and the
over there.
nurses are too. Like they'll come out and they'll
walking
be like,
out and you're like to the brim.
Yeah. Like that
it looked
freak
like
over
a
there.
nitro cold brew.
That guy's definitely going to taste some of his.
It looks like a frothy milk.
He's taking a sip.
But otherwise, like the nurses will be like, "That's it."
Damn.
No, that'd be so funny.
Yeah.
Where'd the rest go?
Is there another container? Is this the
Yeah.
runoff?
This is the overflow.
There's got to be some good joke about the challenge of like pointing your erect penis into a cup that small.
Yeah.
Like
That's small.
trying to refuel a space station or something.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're trying to catch it like a fucking Quidditch.
How big
Yeah.
is the cup? Isn't the cup like this big?
No, it's not huge. It's tiny. It's the pea cup.
I would have no problem fitting my dick inside of
That's
a pea
not
cup.
what I mean. That's not what I mean. It's
How
different
thick is your
when you
penis?
have a boner, that wants to be pointing up, pointing it down into
Oh, I
the
see.
cup is the hard part.
I see.
Because you're not gonna like hold the cup over the end of it.
Yeah.
You think about this. When you jerk off, you don't usually jerk off pointing your dick towards your feet.
Yeah.
It's a very
I
like
mean-
it's like an Indiana Jones type of act where at the last second you have to like swap the one like
Yeah.
you have to like swap the fucking
Yeah, it's like a vet pulling the horse's penis out of the woman and putting it into the cup.
Yeah.
That's like a very precise act. What does
Yeah.
he do in Indiana Jones? It's like he takes the
bag, yeah.
bag
to-
and puts a goblet
and he
back
sizes
down.
it up, and just from looking at it, he's like, "Yeah, I bet this perfect bag of sand is exactly the same weight." Sure isn't.
Sure ain't.
The ancient Mayan people know.
Yeah.
That's why the rock starts rolling.
Yeah.
By the way, have you ever seen? There's like some theme park. It's maybe Universal Studios where they're reenacting that
Disney
scene,
World. It's in Disney World.
and someone's running away from the big rolling rock, and it runs
Oh,
over the guy.
I've seen that video. Yeah.
And they're all like, immediately people start running out.
Yeah.
and
They're
they're
like
like,
just running through the water.
that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
They got
It
gets
kind of makes
peeled
you
up.
think though. You're like, why are they not just using like a
Fake
hollow
styrofoam rock.
ball
Yeah.
that you could just like flick away?
That's a movie quality boulder.
Yeah.
We believe in the authenticity of our
No, that was the
show.
real ball. That was the real ball.
Yeah.
They swapped the real ball. We got a Baldwin on set.
He only wants to go with the real ball.
Yeah.
He can't get into character.
The stuntman's like, look, I actually like the fact that it's real. It makes me run faster.
Do you think you'll ever go to Disney World again?
I do.
Yeah.
Probably.
Rowan,
I'll
you'll
be
probably
within
go.
5 years. I'll be there.
Yeah, but people always take their kids there when they're way too young.
Who had a fucking hilarious bit about that? Oh, Bargatze.
Bargatz did.
He was like, someone was like, yeah, you take your kid when they're too young.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'll just keep my kid in the closet until they start forming memories. Remember yesterday? No.
Yeah, I went when I was like really fucking young, and I don't remember any of it. I remember I told the story about how we don't like rides in my family, so we just like went and saw the Tower of Terror, and like heard people screaming, and we were like, "Damn, that's scary as
Yeah.
fuck," and then we just walked away.
That's hilarious. Your whole family doesn't like rides.
Yeah,
I remember going at an age so young that even at that age, I was surprised to think, are we poor?
Right.
because
You're just eye to eye with a bunch of knee braces.
dude, the room that we had, I don't think we stayed on campus.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like we were in an Airbnb before that existed.
That's
'Cause
kind of what it's like, though.
I remember my whole family. There was like one bed, and then there was a Murphy bed that came out of the wall that my sister and I shared.
Yeah.
And it was really not clean.
I think it's probably just insanely expensive.
I guess so.
We went
that would have
there
been like 1993, dude.
Yeah.
We shot there for like the Barstool travel show or whatever. Like 6 years ago. But it was insane to go as an adult. And those hotels on campus, I don't think they're that expensive, but they're fucking huge. I just remember walking down the hallway for hours.
It's casino-like.
It's very
Oh,
it's
yeah,
children
big time.
casino.
Children casino.
Big time.
Damn, that is a whole ass children's casino.
Yeah. Yeah. We went again when I was older because I have younger sisters and my parents wanted to take them. And I remember going and being like, it was more interesting than anything.
Mm.
I was like, this isn't really like, it was kind of like weird.
It is weird.
It's a little weird.
Well, you've always been ahead of your time. You probably felt uncomfortable at that age that you were around so many children.
Yeah.
And the plus size park hoppers.
I don't know. It's always been the plus size park hoppers and their fucking Disney rashes. You ever see those videos?
You don't
No.
follow that? I
Oh,
follow
it's
the Instagram.
unreal. It's
Plus
some of the
size park
best.
hoppers.
It's some of the best content on the internet.
They're
They're like, okay, let's break down the Disney rash for our some of our plus size park hoppers, and it's literally just it's a heat rash from being 600 pounds. That's all it is.
It's
There's
like
nothing
a
to do
very
with Disney.
specific. But
Disney couldn't be less related to the problem.
But they have all the plus size tips. They're like, if you're in lot F, there's going to be a tram that comes, and on the second tram car, there's a door that's double wide, so you'll be able to.
Yeah.
They have it down to a science, and it's so specific.
Yeah.
It's an intoxicating and
What is it about like 800-pound white women that love Disney World?
What's not to like? Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, I guess.
I
No
think
weight
that-
limit on the fucking... They don't have a weight limit. They have a height limit on the rides.
I think for some people where like adulthood hasn't like taken on the same magic as childhood, they revert to like some of the things that really did it for them when they were really young.
Yeah.
Dude, children's food is what gets you to that size.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
You go to a fucking nice restaurant, those people are like, I'm sorry, can I have the kids menu?
Yeah.
Everything I want is on there.
It's all
Chicken
just like
fingers,
chicken
French
tenders and mac
toast.
and cheese.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
interesting.
It's fascinating. I support their right to do it and people's right to be fat as fuck.
Totally.
I don't know if I would. I feel like Disney should sue them for calling it the Disney rash.
Yeah, stop
I'd be
trying to
so
put-
pissed.
It's like the Wuhan flu.
Yeah, if you're up top at Disney, like you're one of the top dogs at Disney, and you find out that they're calling it the Disney rash,
Bob Iger has
you'd be
to
like, "Are you out of your
pissed.
fucking mind?
Yeah, the fucking...
We don't have anything to do with this. They're fat. They're fat.
They're getting it just because they're fat. Has anyone looked into this?
Why don't we call it the fucking McDonald's rash? Why do we got to call it the Disney rash?"
Dude, I went to...
Dude, they post like not to cut you off, but they post videos and it's like their legs are like covered in hives. Like they'll be like, oh, Sarah just broke out in the Disney rash, and they cut to Sarah and her legs are like this fucking big, and they're like it's like the consistency of the back of a Crunch bar.
Oh.
Yeah. All over their legs.
What is that?
Just hives.
Heat? Is it from the
rash.
heat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hives from heat rash.
Humidity too.
I only really get that when I drink too much red wine too quickly.
You get
You
hives.
get the Disney rash.
Just get a little flush.
I get a little Disney rash.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the first time you got hives?
I've never been a big hives guy.
I haven't either, but I remember getting them a couple times and being like, I'm dying. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Just bumps all over my face.
On your face?
And like my neck.
Bro, Fred again gets, what does he have? The skin condition where it's like, and it's triggered by lights or something like that? Do you watch him on the Black Boy Max stream?
I don't think so.
Fucking classic.
I don't think I got around to it.
Psoriasis or something? Not pityriasis rosacea. That's what you had.
Psoriasis is bad. Psoriasis kind of looks like Disney rash a little bit.
Boy, that's a tough word to spell. I've seen it a couple times and it's very strange.
For the P, right?
I think there's a silent P up front.
Yeah, I think it's
For no reason.
P-Y-S.
Like-
Speaking of silent P's, my P's are getting louder.
That's
I
good.
am now making noise when I pee.
It's because your dick's farther away.
I think I'm a little early to that game.
I don't think so.
I also now
I can't wait till I get to that point.
it helps me a lot to be able to post up.
This set almost crumbled.
It helps me a lot to do that now.
I got a confession. I'm a big sit down and piss guy these days. Big.
Why? Are you just giving yourself a chance to poop, or are you just started like taking a load off?
Given a chance to poop, kind of just taking a load off. At nighttime, like I'll sit down and piss most times.
I don't like it because I never feel like I get it all out when I do that.
I can see that.
You kind of there's something
You
about
ought to know by now.
I think if I did that and then I stood up, I could easily pee another 20%.
It's usually at night, like when I already got the lights cut, and I'm like, I'm not turning back on the lights because then it's gonna reset how tired I am. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sit on the toilet because I know I won't piss all over the toilet.
I don't
seat.
hate any of that logic.
Yeah,
I don't hate any of that.
I'm glad you approve
That's why
because
people.
I was worried I was gonna be
Some
judged.
people have the red light in the bathroom. Have you ever seen that? A red light.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Yeah. It's a little dark too. It makes it feel like a Saw movie.
It's like
Yeah.
being in a submarine.
I don't know how much I would fuck with that. Like
No.
waking up in the middle of the night to piss and you're just in a red light.
Yeah.
You're like seeing shit around the bathroom. Was that a face in the mirror behind me?
Dude, at night
That's my biggest fear.
I
on
won't
Earth.
open my medicine cabinet with the mirror on it because I'm certain that when I close it, there's a ghoul behind me. If I ever have to open that at night, I'm leaving it open the whole time and walking out.
I've like contemplated getting blinds for my mirrors in my apartment,
Drawing the blinds.
just so I don't have to look at that.
Just like twisting that stick of blinds.
I don't know what movie it was. There was some span of horror movies. I think it was like The Conjuring, and then like all the Insidious movies where like they really nailed down the idea that you could only see ghosts in reflections.
Yeah.
Or like if you
Yeah.
took a photo, the ghost would appear.
Dude, one of the biggest jump scares I ever had was when they redid the movie It.
Yeah.
Did you see the
I
new
didn't see the
It?
new one, no.
It was good.
I know. I heard.
Because the original It was one of those movies in my childhood that kept me up
Yeah.
for months
Yeah.
thinking about. But just stick with me here.
I know. I got to go in 15 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. But I remember that in the new one, there's that scene where sure enough, the girl, I think she's the redheaded girl, is in the bathroom, and it's just one of those quiet moments where you think you can breathe easy,
Yeah.
and she opens the thing and then closes it. And I don't think he's behind her, but I think it's like the opening of it obscures where he's gonna come.
Yeah.
And then she closes it, and there he is. And I howled
Yeah.
in the movie
Yeah.
theater. But that was a good movie. I thought that was a pretty darn good remake.
Yeah. Everyone seem to liked it.
Well, they used a lot of the cast of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Maybe not a lot, but at least one. There were some pretty dark themes, though. The girl's dad was like incestuous towards her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
And then the bully kind of like cuts the kid to bully him.
It's
Like
pretty aggressive
carves up his
bullying.
belly. It's pretty bad. Yeah.
It's more just like
Violence.
violent.
Yeah. Really
Bullying.
violent. It's not like they didn't pants him.
Yeah.
They didn't give him a wedgie. They
Cut him.
did some straight up.
Can't you guys just like hang me
Guantanamo
from the
shit.
flagpole by my underwear or some shit?
Exactly.
You got a saw in
Where'd
my
you get
belly.
that switch knife? We're 14. We live in rural
This feels-
America.
This feels like there might be some serious consequences.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to the principal with this one.
All right, should we end it?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
All right, solid episode.
I will be, by the way, in Baltimore tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday, and then at the Port. So tickets to that are at punchup.live/Francis Ellis. And then lots of other fun spots. Kansas City coming up, Dallas coming up, and Providence as well. So hope to see you guys at any of those.
I'll be in Seattle on Saturday and Portland on Sunday. One of the Seattle shows is already sold out. The other one probably will be as well. And then Portland, there's still tickets to for Sunday.
Nice.
And then I got a red eye home.
Attaboy.
Yeah, not bad either.
Team player.
10:50.
You're not going to mind that. That's a long flight. You'll be able to sleep.
Yeah. But it's also not that long. It's only like 5 hours.
It's enough.
It's tough though, because then you're like, so I'm capping out at 5 hours of sleep.
Well, you won't get that much.
Yeah.
But you have the red eye home, which I've done from Salt Lake, is
3
hours. 3.5
Yeah,
hours.
I've done those.
That's
those are tough.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Denver, any of those. Yeah.
You wake up and you're like, I guess I just didn't sleep.
Yeah.
I guess it's just I'm going off of no sleep today.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.